What if I told habits are a reflection of who you are as a person? From my experience of meeting people, I get to know a lot of who they are as a person based on their habits. Now, habits are all around us. We do it, have something every day, whether it's walking, on our phone, reading, all sorts of that. But those habits is a good indicator of who we are. And actually, for many people, we don't even notice these habits. Let's say, for example, somebody says, or somebody starts drinking, partying, and all the other sorts of stuff, doing drugs, let's say. And they start questioning, why am I not feeling good? Or why don't I feel good? Or why don't I feel rejuvenated? Or, and I forgot the word, but almost like successful? No. I would most likely put it as unfulfilled. Well, they would say this to themselves without noticing these habits that, well, of course you're not be feel fulfilled because you're always partying, drinking, doing drugs, and all sorts of that. And because these you do these habits, it will reinforce this vision of yourself being somebody that's not successful or achieving. And let's say you start drinking a lot, right? The fact that you're drinking a lot gives the identity that you are a drinker. Very yeah. But because of that habit, you start gaining more other habits. You start getting the habit of buying more drinks, waste lots of money, and now you become an excessive buyer. That bad habit now makes an identity of you always telling yourself, I'm always wasting money because I am an excessive buyer. I keep drinking because I am a drinker. So because of that identity in your head, thinking that, oh, I am this because of that, well, that will reinforce you to stick like that and stay like that. What if I told you there's a way you can change that? Imagine you're an excessive drinker and you thought to yourself, I don't want to be this drinker anymore. I don't want to waste my money on these drinks. I want to fix myself. I want to do better. Well, there is. The way you start doing this is by becoming that identity that you want. I'll give you an example. For that drinker, in order to stop drinking, he must first have the identity that he is not a drinker. Let me word this in a different way. For somebody that's trying to stop drinking, they would mostly go with the words, I'm trying not to drink. Or if they're in a party, let's say, and he gets offered a drink, he would say, I'm trying not to drink. Or I'm trying to quit drinking. Most of the time, he will result back to drinking. Because trying is different from doing. If he's trying to drink, it gives that psychological force of just giving it a chance, I guess. And saying trying will most likely be maybe or maybe so, and that's not good for what you're trying to do. The way you change your wording is instead of saying I'm trying to stop quit drinking, is to change it to I don't drink. And that's the way you change your identity, by becoming that identity. I'll give you an example. So of me personally, by accident actually. So before I learned how this worked, I used to be, the little big fat kid, right? And like every fat kid, I would drink soda, a lot of soda, and it got to a point where I drank a lot of soda where I thought to myself, I need to change something, right? Of course, there was Coke Zero or Diet Coke, but I didn't want to do that. That seemed a bit too healthy, or yeah, this is sad, but it looked too healthy or too fake to be true. So I didn't go to that. So what I did was, instead of saying that I'm gonna try quit drinking soda, I changed my identity to I don't drink soda, just in general. And lo and behold, I just automatically just stopped drinking soda. And the reason this works is because, like I said before, if you say trying, that's just gonna keep going back to you. Well, I'm trying, but I always could. But if you tell yourself I'm not a drinker, then that's an automatically no, no. I'm not gonna drink, no at all, because I don't drink. And the only way you can get this identity that you strive for is by reinforcing the identity. So the way I stopped drinking soda, I didn't make it sound like, oh, just say I don't drink anymore, I don't drink soda anymore. That sounds easy and all, but the way you reinforce that identity is by doing habits for that identity. So for somebody that doesn't drink soda, what's one habit, or what's something they do that makes it seem like, oh, they don't drink soda? Well, first off, say I don't drink soda. If they get offered a soda, say I don't drink soda. Or my personal one is I only drink water. Simple like that. And that's one way. The second way is by proving to yourself that, yeah, I don't drink soda. So let's say you're at a party, family party, and there's sodas right in front of you, right? And there's a cooler right over there with waters. Usually in Mexican parties, it's almost impossible to find a water cooler. But let's say there is, right? What you do with that is you have your identity in mind, stating that I want to be somebody that doesn't drink soda. Or my bad. I am someone that doesn't drink soda. So what do? Instead of reaching for the soda, go stand up and walk for the water. That habit or that action that you just did right now reinforced your identity that you don't drink soda, and you want water instead. It sounds simple, but it is very hard for hard addicts, right? For somebody that drinks, does drugs, it's a low life in life. It's very hard to just simply change that identity, because that's all they've been through. That's all they are. They think I'm nothing else but this. And yeah, I've also felt like that too when I was a kid. Not with the soda, but when I was fat, I always thought, I'm gonna stay like that. Like, I'm always gonna be like this. There's no changing this at all. But I have built an identity of being somebody that's healthy. And to be honest, I believe last year I did a bad habit of not reinforcing that. I almost forgot that, oh yeah, I was doing that. But I was doing it wrong. I wasn't reinforcing who I was or who I wanted to be as a person. So don't do what I did, and always remind yourself, I'm not that. I am this. I am somebody that doesn't drink. I am somebody that doesn't party. I'm somebody that doesn't do drugs. I'm someone that always exercises. I am a healthy person. And once you proclaim this energy out in the world or in your mind, you must reinforce that by doing things that support who you are at that point now. This is my second gallon of water this night shift, because I formed an identity that I'm someone that drinks a lot of water, and that's reinforcing that statement. I'm almost halfway done, and that proves to myself that yeah, I'm someone that drinks a lot of water. Obviously, I'm almost done with that. I'm about to probably get a second one after this. And I guess the most important thing to do is when you wake up, or once you're surrounded with the thing that you want to quit or the bad habit you want to avoid, you must always remember to yourself that I am not that, I am this. So because I am this, I won't do that habit. It's, again, it seems easier said than done. There's a lot of trial and error. I mean, but once you implement this, quite literally, it starts becoming automatic, right? Again, with the soda. At first, I'd always have to tell myself, I don't drink soda. I don't drink soda. I don't drink soda. And over the past years, I have begun to automatically state that no, I only drink water, or I drink water. I only drink water. Yeah. And it's become automatic that other people start to notice it. Like my mom, for example. She knows 100% that he doesn't drink soda. He only drinks water. With the occasional lemonade, but that's different. That's a whole different topic. Lemonade is good. But because my mom and my brothers notice it, they themselves say, oh yeah, he only drinks water, so here's your water. And because of that, that also reinforces you of this identity, because now, since if other people notice the change of identity, that will further reinforce that, look, because I am somebody that doesn't drink soda, everybody else knows I don't drink soda. And when that happens to you, I'm telling you, that just brings your, I guess, identity level higher. That reinforces it so much that it becomes automatic faster. So what I want you to do is, instead of saying I'll try, or I don't drink, oh my bad, instead of saying I'm trying to quit, or trying this, or not today this, instead of doing that, try doing more of I don't do this. uh, I'm not gonna do that. Basically, start saying no more. Or if you want to build a better habit, start doing it. If you want to go to the gym more, you think to yourself, okay, I'm no longer somebody that says that I'm gonna try and go to the gym, making an identity of somebody that sometimes goes to the gym, sometimes there, sometimes then. Do an identity where you think to yourself, I'm someone that goes to the gym. And in order to reinforce that, go to the gym. That identity of you will become greater and greater if you go to the gym, because you are somebody that goes to the gym. And once other people start noticing, oh yeah, he goes to the gym, then that will further improve on yourself that, hey, because other people notice, that further proves that I am somebody that goes to the gym. Now, there's better ways to doing it. What I mean is that sometimes you go too broad or too narrow, and it's better to go broad. So instead of saying that, oh, I want to be healthy, I want to go to the gym, or I want to get faster, that's being too narrow, right? And let's say you're saying this separately, right? Let's say this identity, the healthy one, is I want to be healthy, or I want to be a healthy person. Okay, then there's a different identity. I want to go to the gym. I'm a gym person. All right, you can do that. Or I want to try and run more. All right, I'm a runner. What you could do is have an identity that has all three, right? You can say that I am a very athletic person. That in itself could have all three things. Rather than saying, oh, I'm just simply this, or I'm just simply that, I'm just simply this. Try and find an identity that supports most of the things you want. Of course, there's other things where, for example, me, I'm somebody that reads now. And you can't really go broad with that. I just read, right? Or I just write. Okay, yeah. But when it comes to something like health, and you go specifically into something, it's better to widen that and hit more targets, because the more habits you have of that will further reinforce your identity and makes it so much more easier. So again, try and not go with the bare minimum and automatically say, I am not this, or I am this. And always do a habit or do something that reinforces that. Again, because it's not gonna work if you say, oh, I'm somebody that goes to the gym, and you only go once a month. Like, no, you're not somebody that goes to the gym. You must reinforce that by at least going 3 times a day. I mean, not 3 times a week, 5 times a week. Then that reinforces that the identity of you going to the gym. Then yeah, okay, good. But if you only go once, then no, you're not somebody who goes to the gym. Once a month, I mean, yeah. I think it should be fine if you go once a week. That's iffy, but yeah, I think that's mostly it. And I really do hope that you build better habits based on the identity you want to have. And hopefully, because of this video, you now have decided that, yeah, I am this now. Yeah, I am what I want to be. Hope you enjoyed, and yeah, stay wondering.